My fellow Americans, I'm pleased to tell you today that I've signed legislation that will outlaw Russia forever. We begin bombing in 5 minutes.
That we must take our country back in November through the electoral process on behalf of our democracy.
No power in this universe can stop.
What we've got here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach. So you get what we had here last week, which is the way he wants it. Well, he gets.
This is offensive.
Do you know what a hassa is, Frank? That's a pig that don't fly straight. Neither do you, Frank.
I'm trying to think, but nothing happens.
Failure to communicate.
Every class, there's always one joker who thinks that he's smarter than me. How bad you want to survive?
I find your lack of faith disturbing. Where you going? I'm going to pick a fight.
All right, and on that note,
going to pick a fight.
Going to pick a fight.
And so we are the
Brotherhood of Liberty.
And we're going to pick a fight.
Yeah, we're going to pick a fight.
Right, so go ahead, read the official statement off the official.
The official statement.
Official.
From Sussex County Patriot.com. This is in regards to some of the latest happenings in Congress. We demand that the current Congressman of the 5th District demand that Representative Omar be removed from all her committees, for which she said as Congressman King was removed from all his committee assignments. Will the Congressman take a stand against his fellow Democrat and her anti-Semitic attacks against Jews, or will he run from his responsibility? That is the official statement.
Okay. I thought it was going to be this one.
He say he not calm. We make him say he calm.
It's a random. I'm sorry. I love
it could be
so
Don't forget, I'm half human, so that 50% of me that's stupid, that's 100% you.
Shut up! So basically, this should not be a hard call. He should have, and I saw the paper, it said he slammed the representative. And the slamming was she wouldn't meet with him, so I don't know what this slamming was.
I'm not sure what
this should not be a hard call. So since
Yeah.
he won't explain it out loud, I guess we're going to have to explain it out loud why it is really, really, really bad when you identify Jewish interests as the behind-the-scenes controller of things. Now AOC Clueless, the socialist, was out. I saw her on one of the committee making a big deal about big corporations, big oil, and special interests. So it's not wrong to bring out this. Of course, the left, and these are not liberals, but the left never bring up a big union or big Google or big Facebook or big Amazon or all the big lefties that are running Congress right now with all their financial campaign payments. Why do congressmen make millions of dollars? Why are they worth millions of dollars on a $170,000 salary, like little Josh? Why do they do that? How does that happen? Right? Somebody gives them all this money, and they're allowed to get it. But there's a distinction to be made here. I love they use the term. So basically, she comes out and she says, "Big Jew is running everything," and I love that term because, of course, I'm a big follower, big fan of Big Jew. I follow Big Jew. I will do everything Big Jew tells me to because, of course, Big Jew is God the Father, and he's in charge of everything, and he's running everything ultimately. But they're not doing that. What they do is they distinguish it, and they are saying that an individual Jewish cabal is running everything. Now, this is, of course, dangerous because of the events that happened around the 1940s with their other fellow socialists doing it. And the reason why it's bad is because it's scapegoating. And what you do, of course, is the greatest scapegoat of all time was when they nailed another poor Jewish boy to the cross, and it was completely innocent man. They nailed him to a cross without a trial, and made him the scapegoat. And this is an endemic evil of mankind, of scapegoating people. But it's particularly evil when it's done to the Jewish people, as it was done in that European country, and got everybody excitable, because what it does, it's like our Jewish friends are the coal mine, they're the canary in the coal mine. Once they start doing to them, it's only a matter of time before they line up everybody else, put them on the cattle cars who is not perfect.
I do think that there's there's something more insidious with this representative as well, Representative Omar, because this isn't her first, dipping her toe into the anti-Semitic pool, as it were. She's made statements before. She's on record of being associated with people who have made statements like this before. She is well known to be making statements that are anti-Semitic in nature, and yet she's embraced by the hard left.
So this should be an easy call for him. He should come out and say she should be removed from everything, just like Representative King was. The anti-Semitic. It's really important. Because of course that's how it started before. A certain socialist, national socialist.
The reason why I started before, John, was because it was acceptable.
Right.
People got away with saying this kind of stuff.
Certain national socialists ran around decrying all the Jewish people who he said were in control and were running things and ruining things for everybody else.
Words.
And this particular national socialist then became national prominence in his little European country, and then rounded up all the poor Jewish people, and also everybody else he determined it wasn't perfect, to put them in cattle cars. And so this is no little small thing. This is not like you're coming out and just making an off statement here and there. This is a big problem, and so it should be an easy call for a guy who's I think Representative Gottheimer is purports to be Jewish. I don't know how observant he is. Of course, what's very interesting too is, of course, the biggest supporters of Israel is our President Trump, and the reason why is because the more Christian you are, the more you support Israel, because it's in a lot of course Holy Scripture is that part of the goal is to convert all Jewish people. And you can't do that when you're killing them all, and you can't save Jewish people when they're all dead. So it's interesting enough that this is one of the lies of the left, that the more Christian you are, the more Catholic or Christian you are. I know there's not supposed to be a distinction, but whatever. The more Christian you are, the more you support Israel, the more you support Jewish people. Now, the more rational you are, the more you have to realize the evil of socialism and the evil of scapegoating and the evil of anti-Semitism. Now, the problem is that our representative from the 5th District, is he going to come out and really slam, or is it going to be more fake slamming?
He's getting cover
from a fake conservative, from a fake fiscal conservative with his fake Jersey values. So I guess that's one of his Jersey values. You don't say anything about anti-Semitism.
No, I guess he also gets cover. He gets the media is flying low cover for both Representative Omar and Representative Gottheimer. It's this low cover of protecting them from what they should be doing, and what in the case of Representative Omar, what she shouldn't have said. This is low cover, which means that they're protecting them. Why? Same agenda, maybe? I'm not sure.
It's another vote, and I think that the evil they represent, they make common cause. Mark Stein makes the point, is the common cause of the radical extremist Muslim and the radical extremist leftists and the radical extremist. They have a common enemy.
What is their common enemy, John? Who's that?
Us. The United States of America, and American values.
American values.
And
true American values,
so
not the false ones perpetrated by those in the Democratic leadership.
He's in a tough pickle there. He's stuck between his party and his conscience. Is he going to make the right choice? Is he going to make?
It shouldn't be a tough choice. It should be an easy choice. And maybe, John, we're wrong. Maybe he will come out and demand it. Maybe he'll be able to use his so-called nonpartisan committee to help drive this forward.
His committee of Republicans and
Democrats.
No,
it's both parties of Republicans and Democrats. Although I'll point out, Representative King, what he lost was due to the Republican leadership, not a bipartisan committee, but the Republican leadership who shut him down. So I don't know if that means that Republicans have the moral high ground, like was suggested in today's.
Fortunately, the greatest friend of Big Jew, appointed by Big Jew, and now President of the United States, and the greatest friend to big Jewish country, of chosen people, is of course our president. Who is so unfair to call him an anti-Semite because his daughter converted to Judaism. His son-in-law is Jewish. He's reorganizing the Middle East to defend Israel. You know, Benny Netanyahu is his biggest fan. Says he's the greatest president. He's pictures of him all over. Running now as his campaign to with pictures of Trump. You can't have a more pro-Semite than President Trump, but just because some idiot shoots up a synagogue, it's all Trump's fault. Okay, it's not actually. But so if the representative won't do anything, maybe President Trump will come out with a statement denouncing her anti-Semitism again. James, who's your favorite human being?
We have to roll out.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite Jewish guy?
Jesus.
Very good. I tried to trick you.
John, I'm a history guy. You know that as well. I mean, I actually have a degree in history, so.
Well, you used it too, huh?
I did use it. Yeah, I actually learned something. Yeah.
Okay.
But we are out of time, brother.
All right. What's left?
Very generous. Very generous indeed.
Go ahead.
Your lack of faith disturbing. Are you going to pick a fight?
What did you call me? But you got more heart and more character than you'll ever have. And stop eyeballing me, boy.
We could pick almost anybody. We could be running a dog, and I think they'd call him a liberal. It's just the standard fare.
You want to survive bad enough to stop me? Or are you relying on my generosity, my love of humanity to stop me from killing you?
Where do you buy stock at MoveOn.org? We gotta go.
I think you was the kind of guy to zip off one day in my F-14 and sell them to the Cubans, right?
We don't have people in